the airline stuff will tell you they got a jump seat. The jump seat, yeah, you're kind of in there in the cockpit and you're sitting off on the side, and it's just an extra seat for you to travel for free, basically, right? It's part of your perks. And so he was in the jump seat, and then at some point he decided to jump up and tried to turn off the engines mid-flight. I'm sorry, sir, what? You tried to cut the engines mid-flight? There's got to be a better way for you to want to quit your job than to just turn off the engine mid-flight. Like, that's crazy to me. There's got to be more exclusionary ways to commit suicide if you're trying to leave, right? Like, if you're trying to go, you can go by yourself. Why are we involved? We are not French. And then there's the Eiffel Tower. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a callback to what happened to The Rock in the previous story. Like, if you're a comedy person, you appreciate that. They don't always hit, ladies and gentlemen, but it felt right when I wrote the joke to begin with. Moving on. He is being charged at this point with 83 felony accounts of attempted murder, 83 accounts of reckless endangerment, putting a plane in danger. He is going to jail. Do not pass go. Get your goddamn hands out the bank, because you do not collect $200. Sit your monkey ass in jail. You can just go by yourself, dude. I just don't get it. And people who are trying to crash their careers, let's go out to Dave Chappelle in Boston. Now, it is reported, because one thing that you really have to understand about Dave Chappelle when he performs is he makes you lock your phone up in a little security bag thing that you can't get out. So no one can actually record Dave Chappelle's show. But I guess during the show at some point he brought up what was happening with the Israeli and Pakistani Hamas IDF conflict over there. And that's, Dave Chappelle is known for touching on hot topics. This is what he does. And of course, the crowd did not react favorably. Someone told him to shut the F up. And you know, it's one of those things where people are very passionate about what's going on over there in Israel and Palestine and the Gaza Strip and everything. And these are the same people that are great history buffs about what is happening in the United States and what has happened in the United States history. Same people with really strong opinion about who's right and who's wrong and what has happened in history, when you can't even figure out what happened down the street, but you got a strong opinion about. Anyway, so apparently Dave Chappelle said, hey, the Israeli government has committed a war crime. They were wrong. They were wrong for shutting off the power in the Gaza Strip in Palestine. They just pulled the plug. That is wrong, and it is a war crime. So that's true, okay? He also said Hamas was wrong and that he didn't condone that, and what they did was absolute garbage. Again, killing women, killing kids, kidnapping folk, absolute garbage. Again, I guess he's right again. And then he finishes with, hey, you know, they said two wrongs don't make it right. Which again, you've heard from your mama and your grandmama that is a truism. Two wrongs do not make it right. I mean, unless you're in math class and then you find out that a negative times a negative is a positive, and then that confuses everyone for a solid year and a half. And then you learn a negative times a positive times a negative, because it's again another negative. It's still a positive. That I get, okay? But we just talking about like regular people shit. And in regular people shit, two wrongs don't make it right. It might make you feel better for a little bit, but it's not a correct source of action. Again, nothing that he said is wrong. And that tends to be a thing with Dave Chappelle. People react before they listen. Now, mind you, I didn't hear it. We don't have tape. We don't have evidence. Believe me, because if TMZ had it, it would already be on the air. But if TMZ ain't got it, that means it does not exist. Now, here's the point. I'm curious to hear exactly what he said, because I'm sure there's way more nuance and skill in what he does than just, hey, they're wrong, they're right, move on. Now, if it happens to be as accurate as me and everything in song you happen to see, then actually believe half of what you see, none of what you hear, even if it's spat by me. And with that shit, I will kill niggas dead. Right, that part we don't need. But just the idea of Jay-Z saying, hey, please hear your source. And then even in hearing your source, vet your source, because that's what we have to do as humans. Speaking of believing anything that someone tells you or whatever you hear, 3 former inmates were exonerated out of the Maryland Correctional Institution. Now, this happened in 2019, but the reason why we bring it up is because the city has decided to cut them a check. They will be paying these 3 men a total sum of $48 million for the 36 years lost in prison. Yeah, cash out, run, fellas, get that bread. Now, what happened? At the age of 16, these 3 men were accused of killing a 14-year-old boy. Now, one, they were 16-year-olds and tried as adults. We can talk about that because that has its own implications later for how they look at black kids. But these 16-year-old boys have spent 36 years in prison and to finally be exonerated. And then the thing was, they were only exonerated after Chestnut opened the case and it was like, hey, I found some facts that were kind of obvious. Why didn't anyone go? Are you hiding facts in a court case, police officers? Are you framing a story to implicate young men that had nothing to do with it so you look good? Yes, I know. Yes, we know. We know the answer was a yes. It was a solid yes. And we know this is a practice in this country also. A practice proven. One of the things we know is in this country, 20% of appeals, 20%, that's 1 in 5, ladies and gentlemen, 1 in 5 appeals are upheld, overturned, which means, hey, we found you guilty. Oh, we ran the appeal. You weren't guilty. You get to go home. That's a crazy number to think that 1 in 5 people that are in correctional institutions across this nation are actually innocent people. It's something that we have to fix at home. Now, we also know that there's a color gradient that really extends the difference between 1 in 5 and 1 in 3. But we don't have to get into that either. I think the real thing is understanding that when someone pays 36 years of their lives in jail, they should get money for that wrongful conviction. And it's one of those things even more where, how do you put the value of what 36 years of one person's life is, let alone 3? Because I'm gonna tell you this, 48 billion is not enough. But this is what was quoted by Justin Conroy, who was in charge of, I guess, coming up with the total fee. He said, these are men who went to jail as teenagers and came out as young grandfathers in their 50s. These are men who went to jail as teenagers and came out as young grandfathers. Y'all had kids at 16? Oh, y'all niggas was fucking. And even more so, they deserve money because their kids and their grandkids didn't even get to see them outside of the prison wall. So yes, pay these men everything they deserve and some. And we have a whole hell of a lot to do to fix our justice system. That is our time at Comedy Trap House. 16? You went to jail with kids? Damn, nigga, that was fucking. Anyway, let's move on to the chat. If there's anything you want to discuss, I'm sure someone's going to bring up what the Ravens did to the Lions in the chat, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and jump in the chat and see what you got to say. First of all, Juggernaut, we're going to give a shout out to Juggernaut Leg. Is that? First of all, I will never say your name again because that is wrong. Oh, Legend. Ha. Whew. Thought it was Leg. Never mind. Juggernaut Legend. Much better. Shout out to the shout out to Juggernaut Legend for the super chat, ladies and gentlemen. The support, just showing love in the best way. I ain't got much to say, but keep up the great work. Thank you. We do appreciate that here at the Trap House. What do we got? Happy to see the news. First time making it live. Welcome, Voxel. What it is? What's up? Listen, God damn it. I bootcut jacket. That was my joke. I did it to myself. You're right. I did that. Lil Wayne's wax figure looked like he already. Yo, there were so many bad wax figures that we could have done the entire news on making fun of how ridiculous they look. But I just picked a couple. Like, I knew Beyonce was a big one. You always got to talk about the queen. And then we moved on. Why do they keep doing these figures? Because people keep going. That's the thing. People keep going to these wax places that are trash, okay? Listen, the scariest place in the world for me, growing up in Baltimore, was the Great Blacks and Wax Museum, okay? All them niggas look like California raisins, and I was terrified. Anyway, the Baltimore Bum Ravens was That doesn't even sound right. That doesn't sound right. The Baltimore Bum Raisins dominated. Like, Pizza, you're better than this. I'll let you delete that and come up with another one before we get to the end of it. We're not going to talk about Sunday's game. Actually, we're here. And you're going to enjoy it. Speaking of who is playing Monopoly Go, yo, y'all gotta do something better with y'all lives, okay? First of all, Pokemon Go is a much better game. Be the best there ever was. Beat all the rest. That's my cause. For those who know what I just did, you're welcome. For those who don't, catch up. I'm hooked on it. We're not giving him any. That was good though. See, that's what I expect from you, Pizza. What else we got? Dave Chappelle was not wrong in what he said. Listen, again, like I said, from what I've read, nothing he said was wrong, but people are emotional and highly emotional. What are your thoughts on that judge texting her bailiff during a murder trial? She just got caught. I think they do that shit all the time. Let's be 100% honest. These people, when you look at a judge-bailiff relationship, they're literally in the court with them every day, all day long, right? If they're not best friends, they might be fucking on the side. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot that goes into these relationships, so that doesn't surprise me at all. They just got caught. Is there a Speaker of the House update? No, nigga. No. Last we checked, everyone's basically on the phone trying to convince a friend or whatever, make some sort of concessions to get the votes needed for the Speaker of the House thing. It is a joke and a game, and it shows you really how in shambles the Republican Party is. Now, they're the biggest bullies because the Democrats are soft, jello type people, but they're in shambles. You can't figure out a Speaker of a House because you have your Trumpers, you have your non-Trumpers, you have your Patriots, you have too many people standing on soapboxes and screaming as loud as they can. So no, I think maybe by the end of this week, we might have a Speaker of the House, but I expect another vote or two to kind of fall flat before we even get there. Spider-Man 2, best game of the day. Listen, Mimi, let me explain something to you about gaming in my life and how I don't have the hours that I wish I had to do what I want to do. So Spider-Man 2 came out, which looks amazing. And I beat Spider-Man 1 and I beat Spider-Man Miles Morales. So I love those games. They're just really short and quick games. Also, Assassin's Creed came out the week before. What am I supposed to do? I gotta go to work. I got a kid. I got responsibilities. I got bills to pay. I had to make an executive decision. So my executive decision was Assassin's Creed. And so I don't want to hear shit about Spider-Man until I finish Assassin's Creed and hop on Spider-Man. If you want to follow me playing Assassin's Creed, follow my Twitch. And what else do we have? What are your thoughts on Amy Schumer calling out Black Lives Matter for not? Tell the white woman to shut the fuck up. That is bad for the YouTube algorithm. That is bad. Tell Amy Schumer to call Black Lives Matter and speak to the manager, and she'll get her problems taken care of. I think that's it. If there's not anything else, ladies and gentlemen, that is our time at Comedy Trap House Central. What? At Comedy Trap House News. Listen, I'm speaking. That was the Lord speaking through me. He was already letting us know what this was about to be. This is our time at Comedy Trap House News. Hey, while we're doing this, please get your likes up, thumbs up, subscribe if you're not. We only have 18 likes. There's 55 of y'all watching. See, this is what happens, right? Then I gotta be like, why ain't y'all getting y'all likes up? And then y'all gonna be like, oh, I only liked and commented because Marvin said so. So what? Do it. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm telling you, do it. Now, I'll wait. Oh, relax on my conservative white women. You almost got the whole show canceled right then and there. The whole show with that comment. You almost got the whole show canceled. Thank you, Kai. Again, can we go check these likes again? Because I want to make sure they went up like we said they was gonna go up. They went up a couple. I mean, y'all tried. Did you though? Did you try? I don't know. I feel like with 55 on here, we should be at least 55 likes. But you know, don't get me to line about math and numbers. Thank you, Ramona. We appreciate you. Anyway.